Hi, my name is Alexandra.Davidoff and welcome to my studio. So this video is more as an illustration video companion for my pattern Park Avenue Plaid Fingerless Mitts. It's those mitts right there. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do step-by-step afterthought thumb. You can see right there. So take a look. So here I have a pair of Park Avenue Plaid fingerless mitts, and one is complete with a thumb and one is incomplete, and we're gonna do the thumb with you together. So let's have a close look of kind of like how it looks like. So this one is a left mitt right there, and the bottom part and the top part of the ribbing done in yarn A, and it's done in size 1, US size 1 needles, and then we switch for the body part for US size 2. So what I suggest to do is to work the thumb in size 2 needles, in a larger size, just because it's actually gonna fit better. It's more comfortable, because I tried to do it in a smaller one because it looks much finer, but it was way too tight for the thumb. So I decided to pick up those stitches and use size 2, US 2 larger size needle. So I'm going to just put it away. And here, so I have right mitt right there, and I will need double pointed needles, size 2. So I'm going to use 3 double pointed needles. You can use 4, but I'm comfortable using 3. So what we're going to do, so when you were working those fingerless mitts, you worked 11 stitches in a waste yarn. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick up 11 stitches below this waste yarn and 11 stitches above. So I'm gonna start with the row below, and actually one of my stitches here is hiding behind, so it's exactly 11 stitches. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So it's the blue one right there, it's hiding there, but it's there. So I'm gonna pick up this first stitch here, 1. I'm picking them as to need. 1, 2, just do this, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So I do have 11 stitches here. So I'm gonna move my needle so my 11 stitches stays right in the middle of my needle, because I don't want them to slip away. I'm picking up a second needle, and I'm going to pick up the stitches above those 11 stitches which are done in wasted yarn. So that would be, let me just make sure. So it would be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So 1/2 of this blue stitch is hiding there, but it's there. So I'm gonna start with this stitch right here, 1, and I'm picking them up as to need. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost there, and 11. So right there. So, and I'm also going to move it so my stitch is in the middle of both of them. So what we're going to do next, we have to very carefully remove these waste yarn stitches. So no rush there, because I don't want accidentally to remove, stitches of a main part of the fingerless mitt. And so what I'm doing here, I want to trim first this little tail carefully on both sides, so it would be easier for me. I think I need a help with the needle right there. Yes, there is no rushing of doing there. So now I removed the tails, and I think it would be easier for me now to carefully remove those stitches right there. And I'm just gonna help with the tip of my double pointed needle right there. Mm. And now it's getting easier. It's good. So every time when I have like a 1 inch long tail, I'm going to trim it so it would be easier for me to keep undoing those stitches right there in the waste yarn. Okay, half of them are done. I don't want to rush because I want to be very careful and not to disturb my main stitches. So I'm gonna take my time making sure that everything is done correctly. So a few more. Almost. Okay, here we go. So here it is, 11 stitches above, and you see how they kind of twists here a little bit. Don't worry. We just have to work them in a correct sequence. So it would be pink, brown, and so on. So don't worry, they're kind of like twisting here. It's going to be absolutely fine. And those looks perfect. So what we're going to do next is we need to use yarn A or whatever yarn you want to use. You can always also go with yarn B, but I suggest to use a yarn A. And we have to attach it, one end of it, to the main fabric. So I'm going to use larger size, well, I mean larger than what we used for applying beads, but it's a small size crochet hook to help me with that. So I'm gonna place it kind of inside right there, and I want to anchor it to the wrong side, but I'm not gonna worry about this too much because I'm gonna take care of it and weave the ends when I'm done. So all I want to do is just to have a secure beginning of my thumb. So I'm just gonna anchor it right there. And I have a lot of bulk on the wrong side, so it's easy for me to attach it. Mhm. But I want to do a good job too. I don't want to have it like a very sloppy because I was very careful. I mean, I like when the wrong side looks good. So I think that's it. So I'm just gonna tuck this tail inside and I'm going to worry about this later. So now I have my yarn attached to the main fabric of the fingerless meat, and what I need to do, I'm gonna work in around 12 rounds in total in ribbing pattern to create a thumb. So you can divide stitches on more than 2 needles. I'm comfortable with 2, but you can definitely place it on 3 or maybe even more. So we have total of 22 stitches. And I do suggest to use some sort of a tracking system, how many rounds you've done. So this way you don't have to count afterwards. So I'm going to use a row counter right there to do that. So, and every time when we pick up a small amount of stitches, it does feel a little awkward, but when you will make a couple of, or 3 or more rounds of the thumb, it's gonna get easier. So the first stitch we're gonna do will be in a ribbing, is in the ribbing pattern. We're gonna do knit 1 through the back loop, and I am a continental knitter, so knit 1 through the back loop, bring yarn to the front and purl 1. So just do knit and purl the way you do it. Again, I'm a continental knitter, that's how I work them. So, and just repeat those 2 stitches, knit through the back loop, purl 1, knit 1 through the back loop, oops, yeah, as I said, it feels a little awkward, but it's okay, it's gonna get better. And purl 1, and I work those stitches fairly tight. You see, there are no extra loops. My stitches sits firmly on a needle. So think of sock knitting. So because you want, you don't want it to be very loose. So knit 1 again through the back loop, purl 1, knit 1 through the back loop, purl 1, and knit 1 through the back loop. So here they are. I'm really happy with the way it looks. So now, remember, we're knitting around, and again, you can put more needles than 2, but I think I'm just gonna stay with 2. And my next stitch, because my last one was knit 1 through the back loop, so my next one would be purl 1. So, and it would be this pink stitch here. So, and I'm trying to make it fairly tight so I don't have big gaps. Knit 1 through the back loop, purl 1, 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 and the last set of 2 stitches, knit 1 through the back loop, purl 1. So 1 round, the first round is done, and it's gonna get easier when I'm starting to build this thumb. So I'm gonna mark it that I complete round 1. So, and now I'm gonna continue. Knit 1 through the back loop, purl 1, and I'm kind of like, I'm not struggling, but I am trying to make those stitches fairly tight. So it's not one of those, making the tiny thumb is not one of those relaxed knitting for me. So, and I usually sit when I do it, I sit and I do for both fingerless mitts, and I need a good light, and I usually do it at the table. So just I feel like I will do a better job if I kind of like, again, it's not relaxed knitting for me. Maybe for you, but not for me. So remember, you finish, if you're using 2 needles just like I do, you will finish those 11 stitches with a knit 1 through the back loop, which means then when you're gonna start working your stitches on a second needle, you will your first stitch will be purl 1. So one, oops, yeah, it's gonna get easier. Knit 1 through the back loop, purl 1, knit 1 through the back loop, purl 1, knit 1 through the back loop, purl 1, and knit 1 through the back loop. Come on, it wants to turn, and purl 1. So you can see already that the ribbing pattern you can start seeing developing, and I like that it's fairly tight, so that was my goal. So I need to mark it that I complete second round. So you need to do total of 12. So now I finished 12 rounds of the thumb, and I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. So now I'm ready to bind off stitches, and I do suggest to bind off in pattern. So for this, and make sure you bind it off fairly loosely, because if it's too tight, you will not be comfortable around your thumb. So, to do it in a pattern, so we have knit 1 through the back loop, purl 1, and so on. So I do exactly the same. So I knit 1 through the back loop, and but I'm kind of like, I'm making sure that this is actually, I'm binding off loosely. So you see, I'm pulling this stitch way bigger if that I would be just knitting it. Then purl 1, and again I'm pulling those stitches, let me show you, fairly wide, and bind off. Knit 1 through the back loop. You see how, let me show you how much I am stretching it out. Bind it off. Oops. And then purl 1. Stretch it out. Bind off. And knit 1 through the back loop. Let me just fold it so you will see the stitches right there. Bind off. Purl 1. Bind off. So, and continue until you close this round. So I just bind up all stitches on the top of my thumb, and now it's like I can see it's a nice and stretchy because that's what I want. And so what you need to do next is to weave in ends. Remember, we have this end and the one inside. And also, if you have, just like I do, if you have those gaps at the base, you shouldn't have anything gaps in this area and this area, but you may have right where we have like, like turning the needles, on this side and this side. If you have those gaps, use the yarn, leftover yarn, and tighten those gaps. So that's what I'm gonna do next, and I'll show you how they look on the hands. So here they are. I just finished both pieces and I'm pretty happy with the way it look. And I removed my jewelry so I can place them on my hands so I wouldn't snag any of the threads inside. So let me try the right one. Oh, it fits so well and very comfortable and warm. And by the way, I don't feel the beads from inside because if I like, well, I'll show you in a minute. Let me show you how it looks inside. So you will see that the beads are kind of hidden almost. Look, you can't even see them because they covered with the stranded knitting work, so they're kind of poking here and there, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable at all. So I just wanted to show you how it looks inside and its beads are covered. So, and I'm gonna place my left bead right there. And it's very comfortable. You can customize it and make it this part longer. I like it the way it is. That's how I designed it because I just wanted to be just like if you're wearing a jacket, it's just kind of like inside your cuff right there. And they're very comfortable. So I closed the openings on both sides, and it was, in my opinion, the right decision to use larger size needles to do the thumb, because if I would be using smaller to match this ribbing right there, smaller size needle, it would be really too tight for me. So very comfortable, very cute, and goes very well with the rest of Park Avenue Plaid collection. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions, and happy knitting. Bye. I hope you liked the video. I hope it was helpful, and sign up for my channel for more video tutorials and vlogs, and I'll see you soon. Bye.